Man, this stuff is really deep, and it's not like the best powder. It's kind of that icy powder. I'm not sure it's a good idea to branch off these main tracks here. I'm gonna go over there. All right, let's try it. Not bad. It's deep. It's definitely deep. I figured maybe getting back in the trees a little bit, maybe the snow wouldn't be as deep. Well, that was no joke. It's another problem with off-roading alone. You have no one to help you when you got to dig yourself out. So I get stuck over there. I lower the tire pressures down to 20. They usually run about 33, 34 pounds. Lowered them down to 20, put all 4 traction aids down, and got right out. I didn't even dig. Like I was on like the transmission and rear diff and all that. I didn't bother digging any of that out. I figured if I could just get on the boards, it would lift me like a half an inch, then I wouldn't be touching. And I backed up and floored it, cut a turn right to here and stopped. Went and got all my stuff. I put the traction boards back up on the roof, and hope I don't get stuck again because I don't have to dig all this stuff out. It took about an hour. So here's what we're dealing with. All right, let's see if we can get out of here. You can't, what the deuce? You didn't even get to, oh my God. I probably shouldn't have stopped on this hill right here. Well, I don't know if you could see before the screen got covered with snow. That was really deep. And I stopped out here and I'm on a hill, so I'm gonna hold the camera inside this time. I got it in second gear, I guess. There, I'll put it in third gear, low. Second gear, when you're in that deep stuff, it's like you're right up around 2,500, 3,000 RPM, right in the power band, you know. So if you need to just floor it, it just goes. So 20 psi with these Falcons is pretty good in the snow. It feels almost like a, you know, a track, like a what are those things called, those Arctic cats or whatever, those snow cats with the treads on them. Yeah, it's really good. You can definitely feel a difference, and that's just down to 20. The thing about, for me, with snow and sand, I mean, unless you just get absolutely really bogged down and, you know, your only choice is to keep lowering tire pressure, then that's fine. But if you're going to just lower it down to get out and then drive around on those pressures and still want to kind of get on it a little bit, 20 is not bad. You know, it's still got a pretty good grip on the bead. I'm on a turn here. I couldn't get anybody to come up with me today on Friday. Everyone was busy. It was probably the last really good snow of the season, I would imagine. I would love to keep going in deeper, but man, as soon as I started going pretty deep off-road, I instantly got stuck. And then, you know, I always talk about this is decently high altitude here, 7,500 feet, where, man, you start digging, you get out of breath pretty quick, mouth is dry, you don't feel like drinking water, but you can easily get dehydrated up in this stuff. Okay, so welcome to the next day and a different area and a different vehicle. Yesterday was really fun, but I was up in where it was pretty deep snow, and even though we were in the mountains, it's kind of more flat area, so you're just kind of contending with the snow. So today I got the Jeep out of the garage. I needed to take it out and drive it anyway. I did put a new battery in it. Battery finally died, But now we're in a mountainous, more hilly area. And so far the snow's been a little patchy. But you can see it's really hilly terrain. So we're going to take off and try and have some fun through here. And this snow here is pretty icy. I was coming in back this way. I had to come in down a mountain. There was a couple of tracks that had been there from some time, and they were ice, and I was sliding down the hill. So it should be interesting. We'll see what happens. Well, it didn't take long to get into fresh snow with no tracks. The only tracks out here are the animals. So I don't know if, I don't think I mentioned it earlier, but this is my test area. Well, I have two test areas. I have a desert one, which is usually where I go and test, like when I've bought some of these older used vehicles that don't have like lifts or good tires or anything. I head out there just to have it. But then up here is the more, like a little bit more rigorous testing area. You got hills, you got, you know, depending on the time of year, you got mud, snow, rain, monsoons, dry, rocks, ruts, all kinds of stuff. Really good area out here. But this area here is really, really packed with wildlife. I think these are wow, there's tracks everywhere to identify them. There's wild turkeys up here. There's a bunch of different types of deer. There's mountain lion, bear, rabbits, big rabbits, those desert hares. I don't think there's any snowshoe hares here, but they're big. Like I saw when we were down in the desert, more toward Phoenix, where the saguaro cactuses are and stuff. I saw rabbits that were like 3 feet tall, I swear. They're huge. But it's pretty clear day. I don't know if you can see in the background out there, but this is where I always try and show the valley out in the distance. And it's really clear today. And look at the sky. This is the Arizona that I've come to love in the wintertime. Always obviously hard to catch on camera, but you can see clear skies, sun up there. And it's 36 degrees. It might actually be a little bit colder. It's 36 degrees at my house. But if there's no wind and you're in the sun, it's like, I always like to wear kind of dark clothes because that'll absorb the heat from the sun. It doesn't feel like it, but a little bit of wind, just like anywhere, right, will drop that temperature way down. But it feels like it's the perfect time to actually off-road. It's the perfect time to camp, to cook, you know, to adventure around out here. With no wind, sunshine and no weather, snow on the ground, in the 30s. You can't ask for any better. And got the Jeep out. I don't know, some of you guys remember the Jeep, fans of the Jeep. 37s, air lockers, the whole kit and caboodle, as they say. It's pretty funny. It's out here for good reason. Because yesterday I had the Lexus up It's way up there, like 80, 100 miles that way is where I was yesterday. And I got stuck, but I got out, and for me, getting stuck like that is half the fun, because I was definitely pushing it down a track, right? It's half the fun. If you're not, I always say, if you're not getting stuck, you're not driving hard enough, or you're not going into, you know, the cool areas. If you're riding a motorcycle off, you know, dirt bike, if you're not crashing, you're not riding hard enough. But it is a pain in the butt when you have to dig yourself out. If someone else is there, I probably could have had them just give me a little yank backward, but I got out using what I had on the vehicle, which was really good, right? It shows me that I'm headed in the right direction of being self-sufficient as far as recovery goes. I do have a winch on there, actually, so I have a winch, but I wasn't going to be going forward. I was trying to get backward because forward was even deeper. But those traction boards, and I only have my little shovel. I forgot to bring my, you know, my full length shovel, but it got out, no worries. No, not a lot, not even a lot of digging. I did most of the digging with the boards. Well, cruising around back here, surprisingly, I saw somebody else. There's a green Jeep behind me. Pretty cool. Someone's actually, I can't believe there's not more people out here. This is like perfect stuff to go off-roading in. Now I'm going up this hill right now. I've showed it before in the Lexus. It's, we'll see how slippery it is, and then see if this guy behind me has no problem getting up. I think I'll just try and crawl it, actually. I'm not gonna try and go nutso on it. I'm gonna turn my other GoPro on. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my lockers, because I can. All right, here we go. Well, that was easy mode. I didn't even like, I barely stepped on the gas. I'm gonna wait here, see if the green Jeep comes up. A couple guys in there. They should be able to get up, no problem. I came up this thing after it was a monsoon, and it was full of mud in the Lexus, so, and in the Land Cruiser too, so it should be no problem. But this thing, you know, I was talking earlier a little bit about larger tires. I didn't even need the lockers there, and I usually actually don't use the lockers here until I almost get stuck, something like that. Or if it looks like it's something where I don't want to really spin all my tires and tear up the ground, I'll use them. But probably 90 to 95% of the time I don't use lockers on this, but it's got, you know, such big tires that it allows me to cruise over stuff and up stuff and around stuff without any issues. I don't see the green Jeep yet. I mean, it's a decent sized hill, but it's not that big. They should be here by now. Well, there goes the green Jeep, if you can see it up there. I waited here for them. They said it took them three tries, but they have like factory 32-inch, 31-inch tires or something, kind of more street tires than off-road. But they made it up. Took them a couple goes, and when I heard them coming up this last little part here, I could hear them revving it up pretty good. A couple of guys just out having fun like me, man, and they said the same thing. I'm the first person they've seen, and they were back over. They came in a different way, a little bit easier way to get into. But there's been times on some of my videos I've shown this exit. It comes out of a creek bed and goes straight up a hill, and it's where I always see the deer, because there's always water there than the creek bed, but it's right in the valley of that big mountain right there on this side. So this valley, that valley, right down there. The problem is it's always in the shade, and I guarantee you it's going to be totally icy. And if you don't make it up, you'll start sliding backward, gaining like a ton of momentum right into a rock wall. So they decided not to go that way. I already made the decision not to go that way, because I don't think it's worth it. It'd be fun, but there's no escape, right? You either make it or you're sliding all the way back down, and the right-hand side, it kind of starts to drop off down as the creek goes away from you. Yeah, it's pretty fun though when it's not icy. It's a steep climb. And right about halfway up it, there's like a tree or something fell years ago, and now it's just a mound. So if you're not, you know, it could scrub all your momentum down. Got a little bit muddy here. Where there's no snow, there's mud. Wow, this is a lot of fun. I love coming out here. Like I was saying before I saw those, thinking to myself before I saw those guys, that this, where I live, every stoplight you come to, you'll see at least a Jeep, a 4Runner, a Tacoma, a Ram, you know, Power Wagon, a Chevy, GMC, Ford, Land Cruiser, not that many Land Cruisers, but there's nobody out here, and they're all like totally clean, and they got tire shine on them, and they all have rooftop tents. all these people, they got like rooftop tents and awnings, and they got traction boards, and they got like Armor All on their tires. I'm like, something's not right here. Hey, to each his own, but if you like off-roading, and this is probably our last winter storm of the season. I mean, I hope there's more. I know some of you guys out there living in the areas that are bogged down by snow, you're like, you're nuts. But here, we just don't get it all that much. But if this is the last winter snow, this is the time to come out and do some snow wheeling, man. Especially like what I had yesterday earlier in the video in the Lexus up there. Wow, I didn't mention it, but apparently they had closed the whole area. Where I came in, I kind of took a sharp turn off of pavement, and they had one of those big, you know, LED signs saying road closed, and that was like 40 miles before I actually hit the snow. So it was closed there, and then when I went out the other way, I think I showed as I was cruising through Williams, the old town of Route 66, right when I dropped out there, which is like 60 miles the other way, it said road closed, and I didn't see anyone except one vehicle, and it was a sheriff in you know, they got their four-wheel drive Tahoes or whatever, and they were off checking on a vehicle that looked like it had broke down or something, and they were checking on that. So as I cruised by them, I'm like, hey guys, and they looked at me funny, you know, like, then I know the whole area was supposed to be closed. Whoops. No wonder I had the whole area to myself. You saw it, 3 feet of snow, but if you could have got stuck there, no one was going to come by to help, so you better be able to get out on your own. Man, it's so nice today. I don't know if you'll be able to see this way. Off through between the trees there, you'll see a big valley that way. So that's south, going toward Phoenix, down that way. And then that way. Surrounded by big mountains here. Well, I came up just a little bit higher, about half a mile up from where I just was. Give you a little bit better view of that valley I was talking about. So I got, you know, I'm on top of this mountain. I got the valleys that way and mountains. And then on the other side of the Jeep, I got the valley down there. And then over here, I got dives down and then goes way up there on another mountain there. Pretty cool, right? So after I turned off the camera back there, I found a couple of those little mini Slim Jims in the center console. You know, it's a Slim Jim. It's made of chemicals and fake beef. So I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of hungry. I could eat a Slim Jim. I looked at it, it said January of 2020. I'm like, okay, so I opened up, I went to bite it. It was rock hard. Like I couldn't even snap it in half. So like, wow, I guess they do go bad. So there goes 2 mini Slim Jims. I gotta throw away when I get home. Oh, the weather is so good right now. Couldn't get anybody to come out here with me. Been a good time. Well, I'd say it would have been a good time to camp. And I think it got down to 17 degrees last night. So it's still, you know, well below freezing at night. It was in the 20s when I got up this morning. And then now, I think it's approaching 40 degrees Fahrenheit now. The sun is just kicking it up there. Just blue skies. Well, it's been a good weekend. 2 different vehicles, 2 days, 2 different locations. Trying to take advantage of the last bit of snow that I can, because you never know. I really thought it was over 2 weeks ago because it was starting to warm up pretty good. And, you know, that's fine, but I lived in California for so long, there was no seasons. Like, it's just the same all the time. And here, you got hot, really hot, you're really cold, you got snow, and we've got monsoon. So we have these 4 unique, when it relates to off-roading, 4 unique type of seasons here. And then spring and fall are just ridiculously perfect. Being at elevation, I mean, you can't say the same thing if you live like down in Phoenix or something where it's like living in Las Vegas. But up at elevation, just like in California, it was hot down in the flatland, and then as you went up into the mountains, it was like the perfect combination of weather. That's why you always went off-roading up in the mountains in the summertime. But it's been really good. My couple friends in town that go off-roading with me, they had like a baby shower going on this weekend, and there's some other stuff. So I had to go at it solo, which I'm okay with. I actually, because I'm on my own time schedule, right? I don't have to be concerned with what other people want, because you should. When you're in groups, you need to be aware of other people, like what they want to do, what they don't want to do, when they need to go to the bathroom, when they want to stop and eat. So when you're by yourself, there's no worrying about any of that stuff. But I'm gonna sit here and enjoy my coffee. It's about 2 o'clock now. Actually, today I went to Toyota this morning, and I had ordered some U-joints for the 80 series. I heard just a little fraction of a vibration when I let off the gas, just for a second. And I looked it up, and they talked about when you lift a vehicle, you know, it could create a little bit of vibration. And I thought that was good news, because the way I see it is those are factory from 97, and they've been running at a certain height for that long, right? And then I lifted it up 3 inches, and now it's got a little bit of a different angle. So of course, I mean, something that's been wearing that long, it's probably time to change them regardless of whether I heard a noise or not. Pretty straightforward. 4 CVs, obviously, or 4 U-joints, 2 on the rear, 2 on the front. And remember, these are full-time 4-wheel drives, so they're always spinning both drive shafts. So I think that getting that much time out of them is pretty good. And I got the OEM Toyota ones. They're not that expensive. There's other ones out there like Moog or Moog, M-O-O-G. There's some different brands, but the Toyota ones lasted. They engineered them as long as they did, and it looked like they fit a variety of vehicles. I think they might fit the 60 series, the 80 series. They might fit the 100 series. It looked like a long time span in years that they fit. So not that that matters right now, because they're going on the 80. And then next week now, I think it's next week, I have the alignment set up. So once I get that aligned, I'll probably, I'll have to double check. If I've got another week before the alignment, I'm going to do the U-joints. I need to have time to do that. And then I'll be ready to go out and have some fun in the 80. It's been a long time since I usually was driving that daily, taking my dog Bucky for a ride every morning in that. Really fun, because, you know, it's slow. It's a cruiser, Land Cruiser. You just cruise around in it, and he loves sitting in the back. And I haven't really, since I got that, I haven't off-roaded it much because of the state of the suspension and the tires that I had on it. I did a little bit, just did a little bit here and there in the dry season. It was fun. But now I'm looking forward to getting after it. Now, obviously, we're going to be coming out of winter, but looking forward to get after it a little bit and see what it can do. Everything I did with that sagging suspension and those They were okay tires, Yokohamas, but they weren't super aggressive. But man, I went anywhere I wanted to go. I went. I didn't spin the wheels, nothing. It was pretty crazy. It just stays real planted to the ground, which is good. Kind of like this. So I'm looking forward to that. But I think that's going to do it for me today on the video. Like I said, I'm going to sit here and relax. It's you I'm in the shade and I'm not moving and it's getting a little chilly. But this is where, right here where I'm at is where I took the pictures of the 80, the before and after picture. It's kind of on the way out of this region. I don't know how these videos are going to come together. It's a 2-day event. Hopefully everything turned out okay. If you guys enjoyed it, just kind of get the feeling. I always try and capture the feeling like that you're riding in the vehicle with me. Just really seeing what's going on. It's not really about showing you my tires climbing over giant boulders or going through big ditches. It's really, when you're in the forest like this, it's about the trail, the track, and, you know, weaving in and out of the trees. That's what it's all about for me. So I try and share with you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys in the next video.